Alright, what's going on, guys? Looks like we are live here with a Squashing Buttons, a Sunday afternoon Squashing Buttons. Gonna play some NBA Jam Tournament Edition for the Super Nintendo. Trying out some new streaming software right now as well, so let me know how things look, how things sound as I kind of get stuff going here. I did add a chat box feature. We'll see if it actually works. A little chat box that comes up while you guys are talking. It does not look like it's going yet, but anyway, just let me know how I sound compared to the audio. I want you to hear a little bit of the music from the game, but want you to hear me, obviously, much more vividly. Because this is why you came for me, not for, So I'm going to do a few things here real quick just to make sure we're all set. I don't know if that chat box is working yet, since it does not appear to be. Let me try one thing here real quick. Get that going. Because otherwise there's just a big blank space and you're probably thinking, what the hell is this random blank space doing there? So let us try to add this chat box and then looks like we got the chat box going. Get in place there. Alright, so you guys say I'm sounding a little low. Okay, let me try to pump myself up now. Is that any better? Does that sound better? Coming from my voice versus the NBA Jam. That's where you obviously want to, as I said, hear a little bit of the NBA Jam, but you want to hear me more than anything. So make sure this is configured properly. It's as it should be. So yeah, let me know if my audio sounds any better right now. As I said, I'm using new software, so I can also turn that down as well if that's, but if there's an echo or something, I don't know what that, yeah, I don't know. I have all my settings pretty much where they were in any other stream or any other podcast I do, so let me know if what recent things I did helped or hurt, but we're going to get started here in a moment then, so yeah, just let me know if it sounds better, worse, different, good, bad. So instead, we'll let this run for just a sec, and then get things started here with Super Nintendo. Of course, make yourself known in the chat room. Chat, get in there, say hi. Let people know you're here. And then, as I said, we'll get started here in a bit, and we'll see what we can do. Have some fun here. Sunday afternoon. Got nothing going on, so. Maybe you guys have something to do, but I got nothing going on, so. Alright, just give me a few more seconds here, get stuff finalized, make sure my audio, I know a few people checked in with the audio, so. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I'm using my same settings that I use all the time, so I don't know. As long as it's mixed all right. Like, if it's echoey, I don't know what I can really do about that. I mean, I can try to back away from the mic a little bit there and see if that helps, but as long as it's mixed all right, my audio versus the video game, the game audio, then that's all I'm really kind of worried about right now. So, all right, let's get things rolling here. Actually, one. Send a notice out to the old Patreon folks. Let them know we are going live. So, just one more minute, and then we'll go. Just gotta make one more post here. So, yeah. As far as the if I still sound echoey, I don't know, guys. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what's causing that. It'll probably be better once I go back and listen after it's recorded, and then I can maybe see about change some settings. But I can only do what I'm doing right now, unfortunately. So hopefully, as long as I sound okay, I don't. That's all that really matters for right now. As long as you can hear me, you can hear the video game, and we can still have some fun. So. One thing I gotta do. Nobody in the world can care about this, but the chat box is going slightly up above where I want it to go. So let's tighten that up a little bit. There. Okay, again, nobody would ever care about me, but anyway. All right, let's do this thing. So, as I said, trying out some new software, so stuff might be a little off. And again, just let me know if you can hear me and you can hear the game. If I'm a little echoey or I don't sound perfect. As I said, new software, so I can try to perfect it next time, but just want you to be able to hear me at least. So we're going head to head, baby. Let's do this. And of course, ask questions. As you can see, Detlef just sent me a question here. Says, where would you rank NBA Jam Tournament Edition in the pantheon of midway basketball games? How do you see it comparing to Hang Time and Showtime? So I put TE really like. I mean, TE blows the original NBA Jam out of the water. I know that there's, there are people that will argue to the death about that or whatever, but oh, one sec, we gotta pick our team here. So I am pretty set on being Charlotte, but we'll see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Hornets. All right, so Detlef, you said where would you rank NBA TE pantheon of midway basketball games? I put it right up there.
Hornets versus Mavericks.
Yeah, I put it right up there in terms of the best ones. Let's get this game started here real quick, and then I'll be able to better answer. That's not what I wanted, but that's not at all what I want. I guess I should learn the controls a little bit. There we go. We got him. We're there. No, I put it definitely above NBA Jam, the original, by a lot. The original Jam kind of stinks. It's fine. Like, nostalgia purposes, people love it. Oh my god, I gotta get used to the controls here. That's alright. We'll let that work. There we go, a little heating up. So I put it above the original NBA Jam. I really like Showtime though. Hang Time, I'm okay on it. I'm kind of indifferent on Hang Time. There's parts of it I really, really like, but then other parts I'm not too fond of with Hang Time. But I love Showtime. Showtime might be my favorite actually of all of them. So, fuck.
2 points.
Also, Antonio, you said I sound a little 64-bitty. Well, I guess that's not what I'm going for. But oh man, Dallas playing tough. Playing tough. All right. So despite the 16-bit stuff, I'm not actually going for. Oh man, The hell is playing rough here, man? That might be goaltending, but that's fine. Love that slide. Yeah, no, I really like. Yeah, Showtime would probably be my number one. Although it's hard, it's like a very, very difficult game. But it's really good. I mean, it's for 2 players. Like if you're playing with your friends or whatever, Showtime is far and away the best. But as far as like classic games, I'd put T definitely, definitely there. No, I really don't want to take a mid-range jumper, but that's fine. Hang Time, I don't know. You know, honestly, I haven't played Hang Time in a while. Maybe I should go back and play it and see where it ranks. Damn. All right. Yeah, to see where because it might rank a little differently for me now, but. Oh, damn. Let's get this one good. All right, well, that's all right. We'll take a halftime. So I do wonder if maybe my voice is a little low because this new software I was using, it had like recommended encoding. You know, we'll kind of guess based off your settings what it should be, and the old stuff I used didn't do that. So it's possible that instead it just was like, oh hey, you need to be lower. So if I sound a little bit low or whatever, my bad, guys. I'm you know, whatever. We'll just say it's part of the gimmick. We'll say it's part of the squashing buttons gimmick. So, man, I'm getting bullied by this Mavericks team. Man. We gotta start hitting some threes. That's not gonna do it. Oof. Can't lose the first game here. That'd be embarrassing. Oh, I'm still getting kind of used to these. Ugh. Getting used to the SNES controls. I was more of a Genesis. Oh. Oh, come on. There. Now we're talking. Get the ball. Damn. All right. But make sure if you're watching, make sure you check in on the chat room. As you can see, the new software I have actually displays the chat, so that's kind of cool. Oh, it's not at all what I wanted to do. Still getting used to these buttons here. So the Genesis controllers are definitely the ones that I'm a little bit more familiar with. But I'll get this one. Just haven't played on the SNES in a long time. Oh, jeez. Rich, get used to these. Okay. Jeez. William McBride question here. One sec. Let me get this possession over. Yeah, get that shit out of there. Oh, God. Rich, get it. How can I keep getting that wrong? Shoot. William McBride, have you seen the Arcade One replica NBA Jam cabinets? Or you can set up at your home, and I think the nurse will let you have one. She probably would. Are they the ones that are really... Because there was ones that are, like, really small. I don't know if I'm into those. No, shoot. Ah, Jesus. These controls. I'm terrible right now with the controls. Are those the... So, William McBride, you asked the question. Are those the big ones? Or they're these, like, really mini ones? I remember there was, like, a... I gotta get Johnson and Morning out of there. There was, like, a really mini one that maybe it was a Street Fighter cabinet. And if it's those, I'm not too into those. They're just a little too small for me. Maybe should. I mean, I'd be down to if it ever came to the point where I had enough money to blow to buy an actual cabinet, I for sure would. Because that just sounds like. That's the problem with Bogues. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Oh no! Get these controls. All right, we'll take it. Why do I keep mixing them up? There we go. Damn. There we go. We need to get some three ball going here. Yeah. That's the only problem with Pokes. He's so short. He can still dunk though. Yeah, I'd take a full-size jam cabinet, but I don't know if I would ever. I mean, honestly, what I would do is like my buddy has this. He built his own and then just put like a MAME thing in there, and that's probably what I would do if I ever did. Because then you get everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not perfect because obviously you're working off emulation, but I mean, I'd obviously take everything over. Oh, morning. I'm hitting the pass button. You guys can't hear me. I'm trying. Oh, jeez. Bowling. I'm getting bullied here, man. Damn.
Wild shot.
It's not that wild. Perfect. Now that... What? That should not have gone in. That's malarkey. Oh my god, I keep hitting... I should switch the buttons. At the point I've done it so many times. Okay, I think my brain has finally figured it out, so... There we go.
Wild shot.
Oh, that hurts. Because now I'm not. No way I'm not gonna get shot up. Yep. Okay. Gotta do some work here in the fourth. I guess I gotta keep. I'm gonna go to Bogues Johnson here. Should I be? Yeah, I'm gonna be Muggsy. Who knew Antonio Davis and not Jim Jackson would be so much trouble? Alright, we're going. Let's cruise. Oh my god. Well, if I miss a layup, jeez.
The turnover.
Come on. Can't even miss a layup. There we go.
The rebound.
Yeah, Dustin, like you said in the chat room, figuring out how to, like, get the old cabinet, like, if something goes wrong. Luckily, I do actually know a guy. I mean, I live in an area that's got a lot of arcade history, obviously, with Midway and all that stuff going on in Chicago. So there's a lot of guys that know how to repair stuff and have been repairing stuff or worked for, big companies. So that's cool. Like, I even know my buddy has a guy who, repairs old cabinets and stuff like that. It's just the expense of it is like, do I really need to be spending that money on that? That's why I'd probably rather just build my own, throw a nice computer in there, and just have an arcade stick and all that sort of stuff, but not necessarily need a full cabinet or whatnot. So okay, we need to get to work here, guys. There we go. Can't lose in the first game. Although I will say the me being a little slow on the controls is definitely not helping matters at all. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. We really need to go to work here. Jesus. I don't think this one's gonna happen. I think we're gonna have to give it another try. Hopefully, I'll actually know the damn controls this next time I play. Okay. See some questions in the chat, and I will answer them in a sec. We got an intense game going on here. All right. Get the ball. Get the ball. Get the. Damn it.
All right. Mavericks win the game.
All right, we'll run this back. I will win the next game. I promise. I was getting the controls wrong every single time, probably. It didn't help things at all, but just getting used to the controls. So, Mr. William McBride, what was the first video game console you ever got, and what was the first one you ever bought? So, first game console I ever got was the original Nintendo. My grandma bought it for me when I was way too young. I was like 3 or something like that. I forget what it was, but I remember my mom being like a little pissed that like they bought it for me because they're like, this seems a little young for him, but obviously they were right because it led to a lifetime of playing this shit. Pretty much from 3 until now 33, I'm still playing it. So 30 years later, still gaming. So yeah, I was either like, I was like 3 or I was very young when I had my original Nintendo. And the first console I ever bought on my own was the Genesis. I remember stupidly, I guess not stupidly, I mean, I was obviously glad to do it, but the first console I ever bought myself was, so the Sega Genesis. What I did, I went over to, then it was Funkoland, you know, the whatever would become GameStop. I went there and traded in my Nintendo and all my Nintendo games to get a brand new Genesis. At the time, I thought it was a great idea, and I guess still to this day, I mean, I'm pretty happy about it, and, you know, I've never been like a super, you know, I collect games now, but at that time, obviously, I didn't know that, you know, 30 years later in my house, I would have, you know, 170, you know, random games or whatever. So at that time, it didn't seem radical, but in hindsight, like, you know, I had original Mario and stuff like that. Like, it would have been worth something, or a little bit more than they gave me, because they were like, okay, you know, you can trade in your Nintendo and 100, you know, every single game you have, and you'll get, you know, a Sega Genesis for $50 or whatever. And at the time, I was like, yeah, well, sweet, man. I want a Genesis. I don't want the Nintendo. You know, I don't want that garbage. I need a Genesis. So, I mean, I'm happy that I did that. But yeah, that was the first one I bought. And then I pretty much bought every console from then on. Like, my parents might chip in and give me a few bucks here and there. But, I mean, every other console was basically mine. You know, next ones after that. I had some Game Boys throughout. Plenty of Game Boys. I don't really count those. But, Jesus Christ. I'm struggling, guys. I'm sorry. Come to live stream, you think you're going to get some great play here. The problem is Alonzo Mourning, if we're being honest. Oh, my God. So, kill me, dude. Oh, man. I'm trying to talk, too. I should just concentrate on the game. No, yeah, Jesus. I don't know what maybe I have this on hard. I don't know what's going on, man. This is not good. I assure you, I'm pretty good at NBA Jam. This is harder than I remember this game being for me last time. But so after the Genesis, I bought. I think my next one would have been a Dreamcast. Oh, Nintendo 64. Duh. Yeah, Nintendo 64. And then
For two.
Okay, the mid-range jumpers though, those should really be going in.
Blaze it up. Score.
Yeah. So then I bought the N64. Then Zoe, what are you doing, dude?
At the buzzer.
Yeah, you're getting the fuck out of here, Alonzo Mourning. You're done. You're fucking history. N64, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Then after 360, yeah, PS4, and obviously all the other stuff between Switch and all that other stuff in between. So, yeah, so I think the real problem with this team is Alonzo Mourning. So we're going to get Alonzo out of here. He's trouble. Trade him to the Heat. Keep good man Larry Johnson out here. You know, he would never steer us wrong. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, now we're playing with fire. Yeah. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, now we're going. John, you have not missed any Tony Braxton discussion. Nope. We have not discussed Tony Braxton yet. Coming up pretty soon. But let me know your guys' history with NBA Jam as well. It's always fun to know who's played. Because I saw one person in the chat already who said they've never even never played it. So. Like, to me, that's so foreign because it was just like, it was an institution for me and my friends. Not what we want. Not ideal. How am I still forgetting the buttons at this point? Jeez. Okay, we're just gonna. I can't. The missing the layups that's inexcusable, man. I'm not gonna. Like, that should not happen in NBA Jam. Yeah. Now, sure, should Muggsy Bogues blocking? Oh, jeez. Alright, we're back. God bless rubber banding. We will never be too far away. Oh, come on! Oh my God, are you kidding me? I still don't have the ball? How do I not have possession yet? Jesus.
the buzzer.
Yeah, they don't need that. Don't give that to them. Dustin Bailey didn't play a ton of Jam, but had College Slam for Genesis. Yeah, College Slam was okay. College Slam was okay. So it, for people that don't know the history of the NBA Jam thing and everything that went with it. So Midway lost the license to NBA Jam eventually, and Acclaim bought it, and then they started, using it for all sorts of things. So so anyway, we did a podcast, and there's some people listening that I know listen to the Over and Back Classic NBA podcast that I do myself and Jason Mann do, and we did a lot about NBA Jam. We did an entire episode about it because there's a new book that came out last year all about NBA Jam. So we got into details about it, but yeah, it's a really weird past of kind of what happened to the NBA Jam game, and the names, the actual name itself, the license and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of a rise and fall of, the Midway arcade company as well. But yeah, they lost the rights to it to Acclaim, and so there's a lot of people that have played maybe an NBA Jam, but have played like a real shitty version of it, and they don't even know that they play. They think they're playing NBA Jam, and they are, but it's not like really the real NBA Jam or whatever. So, it's a very, oh my god! All right, we're gonna have to switch teams here, I think, which is weird because I have beat. I swear to God, I beat all teams with the Charlotte Hornets not that long ago. It was with a friend, but I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm missing threes and shit. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, they're blocking there. Jeez. Like, come on, that's just garbage. Make it. He's a 9 and 3s. Like, this shouldn't be happening. Like that stuff. Like, I can't keep missing layups. Oh, shit. Okay. Really? They're gonna make a shot when I hit them, and then I'm gonna miss a layup. That's fine. That's cool. Yeah, get the shit out of there. Yeah, fuck off. All right, got some work to do. We got some work to do here, but that's all right. No codes. People asked earlier if I was doing codes. Nah, come on. We're not doing codes in here. So, but yeah, people that have not played, definitely go out of your way to check out the NBA Showtime game, because it's not an NBA Jam, but it's the best successor to it. I will say that the recent NBA Jams that came out, the recent NBA Jams came out, I think it was 360, maybe Switch. There might have been one from Switch. I forget, but the recent NBA Jams, they're pretty good. Like, there's some stuff that's a little annoying about them, and they're not perfect, but it's a nice successor to the this the NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and obviously the original NBA Jam. But I played a little bit of the NBA Playgrounds games that are out now. They're okay. I get bored of them in like 10 minutes. So I don't know if it's just the personalities or something about those games, but they're not great. As far as other arcade basketball games, I mean. Okay, you gotta let me up. I gotta be able to stand up for a second, right? Jeez. This is not good, boys. This is not good. But yeah, the recent NBA Jams, not bad. NBA Playgrounds, yeah, they're alright. NBA Street and NBA Ballers and that sort of stuff, I really enjoyed those games back in the day. NBA Showtime, I think, is probably the best successor to NBA Jam that you can get. But again, if you do get a chance to play the new NBA Jam games, I think it was Wii at first, and then that was it. Yeah, it was on the Wii first, and then Jesus, come on. Yeah, it was on the Wii first, and then it came to 360 and all that sort of stuff. And that one, I like that game a lot. It had a good online component too. I mean, playing online NBA Jam is pretty cool because obviously you're playing with your buddies and stuff. So. I think we're gonna have to use a different team. I've never gotten owned this much in NBA Jam. I'm using an emulator, so I don't know. Maybe this emulator's like for tougher. I don't know what's going on, but this is really getting to me. I feel bad. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. We need to.
At the buzzer. Mavericks win the game.
Okay, that's 2 in a row. That's really bad, guys. I apologize. Yeah, this is really bad. We're gonna change it up. We're gonna go a little Utah, little Johnny Stockton, John Stockton, Karl Malone, because we can't lose. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. So, I check the options too, man. It feels It feels more difficult than usual. So we'll see. I mean, I'm usually on 3. That's fine. Yeah, we're okay with 3. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem, but...
Welcome to NBA Jam.
All right, see. But yeah, thank you guys, of course, for joining me on your Sunday. Hopefully you have I know you have nothing else to do, but, you know, hopefully you and your family are doing well, staying safe and healthy during this wild time, so... How pathetic. I've not defeated any of the 27 teams yet. None of them. All right. Desperate times call for desperate measures here, so... They did it.
Tonight's matchup, Jam.
So Detlef in the chat room is talking a lot about Showtime, and yeah, Showtime rules, and he says that Houston team of Showtime is possibly the greatest team in any arcade basketball game ever. They're great in there. I'm pretty partial to the Raptors. I am always the Raptors in that game because you got Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter on there, and if you need the muscle, you got Charles Oakley. So I'm a huge fan of Toronto in that game.
Yeah. Intercepted. Score.
Jeez. Yeah, there you go. John Stockton's not gonna miss no damn layups like fucking Muggsy Bogues. Yeah, give me that. Give me the ball. Give me that ball. Come on.
Heating up.
Get the freaking rebound. There we go. Ah, thank you, Malone. Setting the stage. There we go.
From downtown.
No, stop blocking it. Just rebound it. Just freaking rebound it. Just goaltend it. What are you doing? Why would you... Don't block it. We don't need blocks.
Score. From downtown. Monster Jam.
Okay, this is looking... Oh, my God. I was about to say this is looking better. And then that happens. Then I get jinxed. Spoke too soon. Okay, Malone.
Heating up. From downtown.
Oh, my God. Come on. Man, this game is... I mean, this particular one, I don't know why, man. It must be this emulator or something. This is much harder than usual. I don't think we're getting all 27 here tonight, guys.
At the buzzer.
Give me that. Give me that. Come on. Of course, if you enter the chat room, make sure you say hi. Let people know that you're here, because nice little community we got here. So let's all see who's showing up and who's spending some of their Sunday watching. There's no sports on, so you might as well watch this. Yeah. Oh, they actually let me lay it up without hitting me. So. They're bullies, man. I don't remember the fucking Mavericks being such bullies.
2 points.
Maybe I'll play Showtime next time for you guys. So next time the discussion of the chat room is all about Showtime, man, and I love you. Showtime's great.
Wild heating up.
This is bad, guys. I'm sorry. Could use a goddamn steal from you, Malone. Jeez. Thank you. Let's get a rebound. Oh, Malone. Alright. I feel like there's an excessive amount of blocking going on from Dallas Mavericks, but... Jeez. Oh, man. This is bad. I can't believe... What the fuck? Come on.
At the buzzer.
Jesus Christ. I'm getting upset here. Vandro asks, what's your opinion on gimmick sports games like Looney Tunes Basketball? Looney Tunes Basketball's pretty good. I like that game a lot, actually. So, there was like an Acme game too. Maybe Acme All Stars would be the name of it. And I always really liked that one as well. So, all right, we're gonna start being a big here and just we're gonna play some bully ball here. Oh my god! I walked right over the ball.
For 2.
Mr. William Pride, have you tried the Popeye's chicken sandwich? I have not yet tried the Popeye's chicken sandwich. I was just talking with my wife yesterday that we have never had it. So hopefully change that sometime soon. So. Okay, hold on a sec. I need you. Okay. I don't need you in the paint, buddy. I need you fucking down low. Man. Hold on a second. I'm trying to... Yeah, the Tiny Toons, so there was a Looney Tunes and then like an Acme basketball game. I remember those being pretty good. So the Acme game was like Acme All-Stars, I want to say. Off the top of my head, I can look it up when I'm done here. But yeah, it was like a variety. It had like soccer and basketball.
From the outside.
And a few other sports games, and then the Looney Tunes basketball. I think that's separate, if I remember correctly, right? I don't know if I 100% remember that game, but I do vaguely remember that one. As far as like gimmicky basketball games, I mean, yeah, as long as they don't suck, man. As long as they're not Barkley Shut Up and Jam and any bullshit like that, and like anybody who tells you that like, you know, Barkley Shut Up and Jam, or you know, because there was a lot like around this time there was everybody was like, let's get into the, you know, 2-on-2 basketball game. Can they stop blocking me so much? Like, come on.
For 2.
If we're being honest, like, I think I'm getting blocked a lot more than I probably should be getting blocked.
Hello.
But yeah, because there was like some rap. I have it. I forget what it's called, but there's like you can be rappers, and it's so bad.
For 2.
It's you can be like Ice-T or something like that. It's for Genesis. It's terrible. I forget what it's called. That's gonna go in, isn't it? Okay. No. That's pretty bad. And then obviously you have, you know, a ton of other just bullshit 2-on-2 games or street ball games at that time. But yeah, the Looney Tunes one, the Acme All Stars one was pretty good. Barkley Shut Up and Jam is one of the worst games I've ever played. I mean, there is no redeeming factor whatsoever to Barkley Shut Up and Jam. Just a horrendous game. Let's see if we can get a freaking... Let's try to win this one. I can't believe I'm having this much trouble. Goodness. I mean, I'm gonna take a 3, but yeah, that's fine. Modern NBA, John.
The turnover.
Yeah, let's go. Turnover, yeah, right.
The rebound.
I just gotta trust my computer a little bit more, I think. That was my problem before. That's fine. Let's get on fire. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're there.
Wide open.
I'll take a 3 with Malone. Why not? John, get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Fuck it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
No. How am I forgetting the controls again? It's really bad. That's really, really bad. Oh, what a choke job. What a fucking choke job. I suck. I was gonna say, if they block that, I'm turning this shit off, and you guys are gonna find something else to do with your Sunday. Okay. Just need a game winner here.
At the buzzer.
There we go.
Jazz.
Finally beat the freaking Mavericks. I can't believe it took that long. This guy's talking about a Space Jam game for the Saturn. I have no idea, but if it's anything like Space Jam, it probably sucks too, so movie's garbage. There's a whole episode of the Over and Back Classic NBA podcast where we watch it and tell you why, if you enjoy Space Jam, you're wrong. Stupid. It's a terrible movie. Terrible movie, so I've never played the game. I would never play the game. Even to this day. No desire. I don't even remember that. I don't even know that game existed, so it's for Saturn and PS1, maybe? Space Jam? I'm sure it's fucking horrendous, so I'm not gonna play it. After WCW Super Brawl, I'm a little gun shy about playing really, really bad games, so Dustin Bailey, what about Bill Lambier's Combat Basketball? Basket Brawl. Basket Brawl, sir. Get it right. I'm trying to remember if I played that game or not. I don't remember it being good, but it's not bad if I remember correctly. I have it, actually. I should play one of these days. I went and logged all my video because I have literally nothing. I mean, I'm just sitting here doing bullshit. So yesterday I went and logged all my video games. Just went one by one, scanned everyone, put them in an Excel spreadsheet. So.
For two.
Come on. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna do this until they make. I'm gonna take mid-range jumpers until they freaking give me the mid-range jumper. God, fucking Christian Layton. Christian Layton is a bitch. Paul asks if we're going to pivot the site to racing marbles. Not against it. Not against it. If it's the only thing that survives, marble racing, then the problem is everybody else is going to start covering marble racing too. So, like, we're always, Voice of Wrestling exists for the niche. We're trying to cover a niche or cover part of wrestling that doesn't get covered as much and whatnot. That's always been sort of our goal. Obviously, we do WWE, we do AEW, we do all the big stuff. But the goal was, to shine a light on some of the other stuff as well and do it in a way that, nobody else is doing. But The one problem with marble racing is everyone's going to start covering marble racing. So when it becomes the one true and only sport in this country or in the world, really.
Yeah. Score. For 2.
So, see some new people in the chat. Make sure when you jump into the chat, you introduce yourself, say hi. Let the people know who you are. We're all one big happy family here, so. Oh, my God. Yeah, don't let him get that shot off. That's going to go in. Fuck you. That's going to go in. Get. Deadlift, do we ever find out what Joe's take was on the 2016 Gordon Levine dunk contest? I don't think he ever commented on it. I told him to watch that dunk contest, and I don't think he ever did. Yeah, I should question him on that. Maybe we can do a live watch on this week's flagship, because I don't know what's going on. We're going to spend fucking... start off the show talking about a match where two guys look at each other for a half an hour, so, I mean... that's where we're at in the world, so I guess we have time to talk about dunk contests, so... Because if you don't like that dunk contest, you just hate fun. You just hate life. I mean, you know what I mean? It's perfect. It's just a perfect dunk contest. It's hilarious. It's great. It's got good entertainment. It's not too schlocky. It's competitive. It's everything you ever want. I mean, if you don't like it, I got nothing. I don't know what to tell you. If he doesn't make this, there we go. That's the play I've been trying to get all day. Now we're there. Okay, we're doing a little bit better here with the Jazz. Oh my God. Dustin, you asked that NASCAR guys are doing e-racing. Could that translate to the NBA? Get NBA guys playing NBA 2K? So I know a lot of them do play it. Like, a lot of them do play 2K. I think the issue, though, is realism. And the cool thing about NASCAR that a lot of people are starting to kind of figure out, and it's made those races really entertaining, is that those guys, like, they play that game all the time. I mean, that's how they train. They'll get ready, and you know, when they're not racing, they'll go on that, you know, the iRacing and play around with it, or they'll do races, and they all have the great setups and stuff. So they're ready to go. I mean, they can basically just do that. Like, that, you know, is not much different than what they normally do. And the races will resemble real races, and the guys know what they're doing, and all that sort of stuff. The problem with, like, any sort of NBA guys playing NBA 2K is, like, you know, I don't know how they might not all be that good at it. You know what I mean? Like, some might be pretty good at it, but others might be really bad at it. Some might not even play it at all, and it might not even resemble like real basketball, because you might have guys that just go out there and cheese, and they, you know, they just shoot threes, or, you know, whereas, like, you know, if you're playing that iRacing and you got NASCAR guys doing it, they're just out there trying to, out there, you know, race like they normally would. Oh, come on, really? You got to give them that. You got to give them that shot. They couldn't have. God. So those guys are like, I mean, they train on there, and they make it realistic, and they know what they're doing. You wouldn't, I mean, you could have NBA guys doing it, but it's going to be kind of schlocky. You know what I mean? It's just going to be guys like just chucking threes and turboing and having fun and trying to steal. Like, it's not going to resemble real basketball in any way. And that is dangerous when you do that. So we're going to do the very bizarre thing of putting Jeff Hornacek in here, and I'm going to control Jeff Hornacek. See how that works. Malone needs a little break there with those injuries. So that's where, like, it's a good idea to do the NBA thing, and, like, I know that the NBA 2K leagues, I thought they were still going, but maybe they're delayed too. You can do it, but yeah, it won't be as good as the NASCAR e-racing thing is. But they should explore it at least. I know, like, some teams are doing that. I think I want to. What the fuck with these layups, man? Come on. What? Excuse me. Really? I know some teams like the Charlotte Hornets, I think, are doing it, or maybe the Washington Wizards are like playing their season out, you know, on NBA 2K. But I don't know who's playing it. I think maybe they're just simming it and seeing sort of what happens from there. But that's cool. That's a cool idea. But yeah, I don't know if the NBA players would ever be down with it. Although a lot of them are like, you know, Devin Booker and those guys, and Karl-Anthony Towns and Ben Simmons, and a lot of those guys, they're streamers, so they're on there playing Call of Duty and shit all the time. So. Give me that fire. Oh, fuck you. There we go. That's my least favorite thing about this game. Is the fucking... Oh my god, I'm blocking it! Come on, I'm on fire, I'm blocking it. I get shoved while I'm on fire. Just sick of it. Hornacek playing bully ball out there, thank God. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like not. It'd probably be worth it just to get the NBA guys on there and or just ask, you know, see, hey, who plays this? You know, we need some content. You guys are not doing anything, so really, they're gonna get every shot at the end of every quarter. Come on. I mean, honestly, if I was on NBA TV, I'd just get those guys on like Call of Duty and just have, you know. Just get like freaking Devin Booker and Ben Simmons and Karl-Anthony Towns to go out there and just play. You know, would be the worst idea. All right, so we're gonna do Malone Stockton in this final one here. See if we can take these guys down. Jeez. Yeah, fucking blow me, Ryder. Say Ryder. If he misses that, I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that the sports networks haven't done a lot more of esports stuff. Like, I don't know what esports. I don't know anything about the esports game, so I'm not sure. You know, what sort of esports are out there and still competitively playing and whatnot. I mean, I imagine most of them could probably still play. I mean, it's not like, you know, obviously you're not going to get the, you know, 20,000 people in an arena watching guys play, but I mean, fuck, go online and do something. But yeah, I would do a lot of that. I would just fill my stuff up with that because I mean, you can make that, you know, people thirsty for that content even when sports come back. It seems silly not to. I mean, especially the NBA TV, especially, like, I don't even know what the competitive Madden game is these days, but I could see any of those networks at least trying to do something like that would be, I think, smart. If he was gonna block that, I was gonna say it. I felt the block coming. Damn. Alright, 2-point game here. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Get out of here. Ridiculous. Oh my god, you're kidding me. You're absolutely fucking kidding me. Alright, we're going OT with the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves. I can't believe it. So hopefully this is mildly entertaining for you guys. I see the chat's going well, so you guys are talking in the chat, which is good. That's what it's all about. I'm just playing this game here, so I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have as much as I can. I know I'm trying to keep up with the chat and play the game at the same time, so might be missing some of your guys' stuff, but keep the questions coming. I have this one free and open to the public as well, so I do this pretty often. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/voiceofwrestling. I've been doing these a little bit more often, obviously, with the shutdown going on. So usually play wrestling games, but most wrestling games suck. So I wanted to play some NBA Jam here tonight. So You would think with as many times I'm shoving these guys down,
Yeah.
maybe they drop the ball once or twice, you know.
For two. Yeah.
Or miss a shot, you know.
Yeah.
But come on, Isaiah Ryder, can he please drop the ball once or twice? Nice D, Stockton. Yeah, don't fucking do anything, dude. Just. Oh my god, the missed layups. I can't handle those. I can't handle it. I cannot handle a missed layup from John Stockton. Come on. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'll deal with the blocks. I'll do the block. I don't love the blocks.
Yeah.
Come on, Isaiah Ryder. Oh my god, it falls right to him, of course.
From the outside.
All right, John, we need that. Of course you freaking miss it. That's fine. I got it, John. I got it. Don't worry.
Tempo.
A few questions about the new Fire Pro game. I have it. I played a pretty decent amount. I did one Squash and Buttons last year. Did a few Squash and Buttons last year with the new Fire Pro game. It's fine. I mean, I enjoy it. I played a lot, but I don't. Oh my god, that's gonna go in, isn't it? Oh my god, come on, Jesus Christ, double overtime. Yeah, I did one Squash and Buttons with it. The problem is it's like not a very exciting game to play. For streaming, I don't know. I was trying to go through the story mode, and the story mode's like, I mean, it's fine, but it's just like a grind, man. It's like, you know, you're in a training seminar, you got to do, you know, 8 nerve holds to win the match or whatever, or you know, Eugene Agata gets mad at you or something. So it's just like it wasn't very exciting like content, but I'd like to fire it up again. Mr. William McBride asks, can you get Joe on Fire Pro for Squash and Buttons? So just to let you know, given how hard it is just to get a freaking flagship together. Tech-wise with Joe, I don't think we're going to have him video game streaming anytime soon. He's playing Tecmo Bowl, I know right now. I could try to teach him, but it's hard enough to get him... it's hard enough to get him his audio recorded every single week for a flagship, let alone streaming a video game and mixing that and getting everything right and getting him on YouTube streaming and getting him a copy of OBS so he could learn how to stream and learning how to mix the stuff. Like, that's not going to happen. Unless I physically go to College Station, Texas. I don't think that's going to happen, so sorry. I would have to literally be with him and set his entire system up for him to do it. Because just trying to have to explain streaming to him seems like that would be a problem, so don't get too excited about that anytime soon. Give me the freaking ball. Come on. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm killing him. No, I've hit the shoot button. This is pissing me off now. God damn it. Come on. Okay. Yeah, steal here quick. A steal or two from Stockton would be nice. You know, just something, John, if you want to, you know, get involved in the game here.
2 points.
Feel like knocking a guy over, something like that. You feel like, you know, doing something. Just getting the ball when it's loose, you know, getting a steal. Doing something, John, would be great. But that's fine, you know, that's cool. Just do you, man. It's good.
Wild shot. Heating up.
There we go. Okay. Need this in a 3. Oh, well, sorry. Hold on one sec. Let's see what we can do. Ah, damn it.
Timberwolves win the game.
I'll do another one here with the Jazz. I can't believe I'm having so much trouble with this. played with double overtime with the freaking Timberwolves. Alright.
Welcome to NBA Jam.
Should I say, what do you guys think in the chat room? Should I stick with Utah or move to a different team? That's a pathetic record so far, man. See, let's got Seattle here. Oh, he's got Seattle. No real three-point shooters, but I haven't really been using the three-point shooters that much. Yeah, maybe a little. Well, like, I was really hoping Stockton would, get a steal or two here. Scott Skiles, Chris Webber. Yep. We're pivoting to Washington. See what happens here. Some Bullets action. Let's find out.
Tonight's matchup, Bullets versus Timberwolves.
Okay, off to a swimming start already.
For two.
Yeah, we gotta start. So Scott Skiles was a bit of a bully in this game, so that's good. We need some bully. I didn't have enough Stockton. I don't know what the hell Stockton was doing, man. But it was not enough. That goes in. Get out of here. Okay, I mean, I was going to go through a three-pointer. A jump shot, but... I mean, you think like one of these times they'd let me get the frickin' rebound. When I block it, maybe give me the ball, but that's cool. That's cool, guys. That's fine.
Heating up. For two. Yes.
Oh boy, this is. Right. I never knew that Isaiah Ryder was the best ball handler in the NBA. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Jesus Christ.
At the buzzer. Score.
All right, give me that. Come on. Alright, we're stick with this. I like it. It's not bad. I thought Utah was the team, but man, Stockton wasn't pulling his weight around here. Skiles is a little bit.
2 points.
It'd be really nice if Isaiah Ryder would just drop the ball once when I hit him. Just once. Like I do. Like I do every freaking time I get hit, No matter who I'm playing with, I drive. But yeah, not Isaiah Ryder. Not NBA legend Isaiah Ryder. He doesn't drop the ball. Nor does Doug West, another NBA stalwart here. Oh yeah, he gets up and hits a three. Right in my face. That was good for a three, but yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. There we go, Scotty.
Wild shot.
Yeah, that's you, Scotty. There it is, buddy.
Ugly shot.
He's a 9. He's a 9 3-pointer. Come on.
Whoa. Yes.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it. Ah, but of course. Come on. There we go. Jeez, I was waiting for that to get blocked or something like that. So. Really? Oh my God! Come on. Kidding me.
Wild shot.
No. Oh, I was trying to get through this screen. There we go. Okay. Okay, I got 2 seconds here. That's not going in for sure. Nope, of course not. Of course not. Avandro, have you been watching the DDT shows? Anything worth watching? I have not been watching any DDT, unfortunately. So, watching old school stuff. Watching, I guess I'll use Calvert Cheney, but yeah, watching old school stuff. A little bit of Big Japan, a little bit of Noah, but yeah, I have not watched any of the DDT stuff. So. That's that brand of wrestling in front of no audience. I don't know if that's quite for me. I mean, if it's the last thing left, I'll probably watch it, but I don't see myself going out of my way to watch it. So, I think I'm sure you can find some people that just maybe at the Voice Wrestling Discord, if you remember there, voicewrestling.com/Discord. There'll probably be a few people that have watched it and can recommend some stuff for you. But yeah, no, it's not a brand that I'm really.
From the outside.
I mean, I'm not too excited about DDT normally, let alone, you know, in front of no people. Doesn't sound quite like anything I really want to check out, unfortunately. Sorry.
From the outside.
Just because, like, there's not as much wrestling doesn't mean I'll watch, like, literally any wrestling. Like, I'll just go back and watch old shit. I'm not going to watch stuff, stuff I know I'm not going to enjoy, or watch stuff, that I hate anyway. Because, I got stuff for Patreon that I'm doing, the series on the WCW Spring Breaks. So we're doing that. And just going back and watching some other random stuff, or, doing stuff like this with my free time. So. Calvert Cheney doing work out here. All right. All right, William McBride, thank you for checking in, watching for a little while. Enjoy. Sorry you have to go to work, but thank you for whatever you do, because you're probably important. Or if you're not, sorry. But thank you anyway. I just don't understand how when I get hit when I'm going for a shot, I just immediately drop the ball. I can't even fab, but they're, they'll fucking shoot it and make it. And they do it. Ha 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 ha. All right. Detlef, what would you say has been the best actual match on these WCW Spring Break shows? There was a bunch of good ones on 98. I would say, just off the top of my head, what was that one? Spring Break 1998 WCW. There was one that really stood out to me that I thought was, like, legitimately a good... let's see... Raven Chris Benoit is probably the best one I've seen so far. That one was really, really good stuff between those two guys. I would also say... yeah, that's probably it. That or Jericho and Juventud was pretty good too on that show. So Not a lot of good or great stuff on those shows, unfortunately. You're fucking kidding me.
Stolen.
Oh my god. Why was that not? Why did I not have that? Why did I not possess that ball? There's no need for me not to possess that ball. There's no need for me to miss that dunk. Come on, Skiles. Jeez. On that same show, there was also a really badass Yuji Nagata Fit Finlay match. Or is that the one I'm thinking of? Was it Yuji Nagata? Ultimo Dragon Fit Finlay. That was awesome. Oh god. I clicked in the other room. Oh, there we go.
Stolen.
Oh, that's what happens when you click in another window and your controller shuts off for a sec. I earned that one. I deserve that. In the fourth quarter, especially. Answering questions in the fourth quarter. Like, what are you doing, Rich? Damn it.
Heating up. Yeah.
Okay. Give me the fucking ball. Come on.
Heating up.
Dave, you're gonna make them make that? The fuck? Oh my god, are you kidding me? This is infuriating. We shoved him 3 times and he didn't get the ball up. Come on.
It's good. At the buzzer.
You're kidding me.
Timberwolves
Fucking
win
kidding me.
the game.
Ridiculous. Yeah, we're gonna play this. We're not letting this game beat us. We'll play a few more of these. Something is just weird about this one, man. I don't know. It might be the download. I don't know what it is. I promise if I threw my fucking Super Sega Genesis NBA Jam Tournament Edition in here and played it on here, it'd be a totally different ballgame. I'm not making excuses either. I promise. People have, ask anybody who's went to an arcade with me. I know how to play NBA Jam. I know how to win. I've beaten all the teams too, but yeah, this is, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I feel bad. Choking under pressure, I guess. Back to Utah. Back to Utah. Back to where we won.
Tonight's matchup: Jazz versus Timberwolves. Two points. The rebound. Heating up.
Yeah, we'll get Stockton out. How about that?
Razzle dazzle.
There we go. Yeah, I just wonder if it's the SNES one. I don't know. I might get a Genesis emulator. Give this another try another day, or just literally hook up my Genesis. The reason I just use the emulator is just a little bit easier on the computer. Less cables, but I do have a game capture thing, so for like a posh capture thing, so I can easily capture a
Heating up.
Genesis game on there, but I'm just struggling with this game way more than I am ever struggled in NBA Jam before. So, but I never played the SNES version, so that could possibly be the issue here. But I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm playing all right. So we'll do a few more games here. I know I don't want to take too much of you guys. Sunday, I just want to kind of play a little bit, have some fun, have some chats with you guys, and it's been fun. I know we have varied in viewers here and there, but always a good time chatting with you guys, playing some games. Let's face it, we got nothing else going on.
The rebound.
I thought I just gotta get away from him. Not bad. Just stick with it, I guess, yeah. I want to get Isaiah out more hurt, because that's when they get slow, and that's when you can kind of really do some work against them, but... Not that it's going to matter, but... Oh, fire? Yeah, there we go. Alright, alright. Let's just put the shit away, you know what I mean? Like, let's just fucking... Let's go. Sick of this game beating me. Piece of shit.
From the outside.
Jumped right to it.
For two.
I feel like in the real arcade and the Genesis version, the computer that, you know, your AI is a lot better. They're just like, I mean, they're just missing everything. They're not doing, I mean, they're not doing anything. And I have it on assistance, obviously. Computer assistance, but yeah, I mean, Stockton's just kind of, there he is, standing in front of the 3-point line and then missing. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what we need, Stockton. Is you to miss fucking 19-footers standing on the line. That's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Vondro, have you guys been watching The Dark Side of the Ring? I have not watched the Benoit one. Don't know if I'm in quite the frame of mind for the Benoit one right now. Not that like the Benoit thing is you know, I'm sensitive to it or anything like that. It's just given all that's going on in the world right now and all that stuff. I'm just not in the real big mood. It's, you know, for a documentary about a guy that murdered his wife and killed himself. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I gotta be in the right frame of mind for it. But I did watch all of season 1, and I thought it was tremendous TV. I think they do a really, really good job with it. There's, so, some of the ones that, like, where you don't, like, the Macho Man one was, like, fine. You know, I wasn't gonna learn anything about that one. God damn it. Yeah, get that shit away from me, so. Yeah, like Dustin said the same thing. I watched all of season 1, saw every single episode. I'm just not in the mood for the Benoit stuff right now, so maybe that'll change in a bit. But I liked a lot of season 1. A lot of them I just skipped because it was like I wasn't super into the story of or not. I didn't skip them, but I just didn't really love them. I didn't really recommend them or talk about them very much because like Macho Man, I wasn't gonna learn anything new from the Macho Man one. The Montreal Screwjob one, it's like, what more do you need from the Montreal Screwjob one? Why do I need to hear anything more about it? So, but I get it. It's not for me. That series isn't for me. But the other ones I really liked. I think they did a great job with almost every single other one that I saw. So it's a really good series, a really important series as well because it's not something that gets covered a lot. And I've learned a lot too. Like there's episodes obviously where I knew I wasn't gonna learn anything. I knew it wasn't for me, but then there's been ones where I've really learned about some stuff. And the Von Erich one I thought is awesome. Like that's one I've recommended to a ton of people, even if you know nothing about pro wrestling. I think you'll be able to get something out of that story, and you'll be able to feel that story, and you know that transcends wrestling. I think a lot of the other ones you might have to either care about the guys or care about the history of wrestling, but not that one, man. That is just like pure heartstring, like. Here's an entire family just destroyed. You know, that's one that, yeah, that transcends wrestling. So I really recommend that one. Come on with the missed layups, man. I mean, there's nothing I can do if Stockton's not going to make anything, so. Boom, there it is. Let's go. Now we're in business. Yeah, shoot that through. Right there. I don't think Christian Leitner. Yeah, the Gino Hernandez one. Let's see if you guys talk about that one. That's one that I didn't know anything about. I mean, I shouldn't say anything. I knew of him. I knew about it, but that was like, you know, as I'm watching that, I'm like, man, this is all stuff that's like pretty new to me. Pretty, just the fucking missed three free. What are we doing here with these missed layups? I've never had this many missed layups in an NBA Jam game ever. Yeah, so the next Dark Side of the Ring, I believe, is New Jack, right? And I'll watch that one. I mean, you know, what's the worst that could happen with New Jack other than, you know, they'll talk about his homicides, they'll talk about, you know, being a hitman and that sort of stuff, and that's fun. You know, it is what it is. Oh, I thought that was the fourth quarter, man. That was only the third. Shit. I gotta buck her down for one more here. So I'll probably play another game after this, and then let you guys go on with your Sundays. Maybe should have swapped Malone out because he's getting slow. Too injured, but still make it work.
Terrible shot.
Fuck, how's it a terrible shot?
From the outside.
This game is, it's trying to infuriate me today.
For two.
It's trying to make me mad. Oh, it's not gonna win. I'm not gonna let you win, NBA Jam. Okay, maybe we'll let you win. You're really starting to piss me off now. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm letting you win. I'm letting you get in my head. Right there. That should have been a block. Oh my god. You're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me.
He's on fire. From the outside. Hello. For two.
I can't lose to the Timberwolves again. Kidding me? Come on. You're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me.
From the outside.
Well, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's gonna be the game there, right there. Unbelievable, man. I'm stunned that I keep losing these. Alright, we'll play one more after this. Why would they make that at the buzzer? Why would they make that? They don't. Oh my god. Yeah, something's off with this version, man. I'm not making excuses, honestly. I'm telling you, anybody that's ever met me and has played NBA Jam with me knows this is not how it usually goes. I don't know if they took the banding off, they increased it, or what the hell they did. But this is wild, man. I have never played an NBA Jam game that's been this annoying and had this much issue with it. We'll play one more, and then I'll let you guys get what you said. But thank you, of course, for joining me. And, of course, for jumping in. So the future Dark Side of the Rings, New Jack, Brawl for All, Snuka, Bravo, Schultz, Herm Abrams. Oh, Herm Abrams. That is going to be wild, man. Owen and the Road Warriors. Yeah, the Owen one might be another one where I'm just like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for that one, but we'll see. Soon we get down to it. All right, let's do the Bulls. I was going to go Seattle, but we'll try Chicago. So one more here. We'll see how it goes. We can pick this up again another time, too.
Score! Intercepted!
Are you kidding me? Come on.
From downtown!
If that goes in, thank you. Yeah, the weird one about this game is like the computer, your computer player is just not doing anything, man, and that is not how it is in the arcade game. Like if you utilize the computer well, they'll work for you pretty well. I mean, they'll hit shots, they'll do stuff. I mean, these guys are just not doing anything for me. Just missing every one of their shots, like not stealing the ball. So it kind of feels like a one-man game, and that's obviously not a great way to play NBA Jam. I mean, come on.
Intercepted! Score! From downtown!
There we go.
Score!
Jesus. All right. Really? Really? Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. No. Okay. Oh yeah. We're just gonna fucking have Christian Landers steal from Scottie Pippen. Just as yeah. Okay. That's yeah. Fucking perfect.
Monster Jam! Yeah! At the buzzer!
That goes in. We might have been done here. We might have been done here. But it's out there. So don't worry here. We got Coach stats in this game kind of stinks. So. We'll stick with this Armstrong Pippen thing. So it goes.
Heating up!
All right.
No good! He's on
Fire all house a little bit here. You can't. That's ridiculous. You can't be able to do it. I know some of you guys talk about my echo. I changed nothing. I'm sitting here. I haven't done one thing, so it might be something with the encoder. I have no idea. But sorry if there's an echo. Nothing has changed. I'm sitting here. Haven't moved. I'm not even here. Keyboard's all the way over there. So sorry if yeah, like I said, I'm using new software here, so
stolen!
I'll have to try. I'll listen back to what happened and see what I can do about fixing some of these stuff. I think I have an idea what might be going on. I think I might be adjusting to my settings. I don't know why it would adjust at this point, but maybe my internet's slowed down or something. So. Jesus Christ, come on, man.
Stolen!
There's a lot of wild comments. I have no idea what's going on in the audio, guys. I'm sorry. As I said, I'm sitting here not doing anything. I haven't changed one single thing about my settings, so that's why I suspect this new streamer has like some auto settings. So maybe it if it thinks your stream needs.
At the buzzer! Yeah!
So, sorry, no idea. I'm using Streamlabs OBS right now, so I was just using the straight OBS, and I have converted to Streamlabs here. But if it keeps being an issue, then I'll just go back to normal plain old OBS. But yeah, I've been using OBS for months. Actually, every flagship is recorded on OBS as well. But yeah, I went to Streamlabs here with this one, so it's possible that Streamlabs has, like I said, something in it where it auto adjusts for. This is ridiculous, man.
Monster Jam! Scores! Heating up!
Alright.
From downtown!
Like, I feel like when Scottie Pippen knocks Christian later now, he should probably lose the ball. You know, just a thought.
Monster Jam!
Like, you know, one of the best defenders in the league. Just feel like that's not too much to ask. Yeah, like that should happen all the time. Oh my god, are you kidding me? You're kidding. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna miss that. Are you fucking serious? Get the fuck out of here.
From downtown!
There we go, BJ. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is occasionally when I knock him down that, you know. Occasionally. Yeah, occasionally when I knock him down. Cut up ball. That's all. Not every time. Just a trail. Just a fucking wide open trail here with nobody stopping him.
At the buzzer!
That's gonna miss that too. Okay, at least I made it. So this will be our last game. I got no PhD. I think we gotta Pippen Armstrong. Final. I probably should have switched out, because Pippen's gonna be tired, but, you know. I still got some speed. We're still good. I can't lose this one, guys. This would be really bad if I lost this game. Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the computer just sucks. They just don't do anything. And that's not true in the other NBA jams. Like, they'll make shots for you. They'll hit guys. They'll do something. They haven't done shit for me at all. Like,
2 points!
BJ doesn't shove anybody down. He doesn't steal the ball.
No good!
Yeah, get the fucking rim later. Bitch.
Stolen!
Oh my god, this is killing me, man. Yeah, again, I don't know what's going on with the echo, guys. I'll look it up, but apologize for the quality. Of course, it'd be the free one that has the shitty audio quality. That's great, yeah. When we're giving it away and trying to sell, you know. Hey, listen to me more often on Patreon.
Stolen! 2 points!
Oh my god, of course. Of course. Of course we go that way. I missed this.
Yeah!
Okay. Alright, just cannot let them score here. Or BJ, just, you know what, BJ? Just fucking let them right by. Just like, yeah, perfect, BJ. Just fucking let them. Alright, we're going for broke here. No, okay. That's it. This has been terrible. I apologize, guys. So the echo's been bad. I've played like shit. Just a terrible fucking stream. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me here. Sorry I lost many times here. I gotta explore what the hell's going on. A, with the stream, and B, with this NBA Jam game, because this is wild here, man. How is Isaiah Reddick injured 0? How is he injured 0? It says injured 0 right there. I hit him 1,000 times in this game. He's injured 0. That's bullshit. That's fucking garbage. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this free stream here. A little Sunday afternoon jaunt down NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Sorry again, there was so much losing. So much bullshit play here. And sorry about the echo and all that sort of stuff. Thank you guys, of course, for joining me. Supports us, voiceswrestling.com/Patreon, voiceswrestling.com, at voiceswrestling on Twitter, and voiceswrestling.com/Discord, as well as our Discord channel if you want to jump in there and have some fun. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye.